Hello everybody, and playing the I lost count. We're doing the Arkham quest, the Fontaine one. Yeah, I'm left up where I stopped that. Yeah, the twist is very interesting.
We ended up here without even thinking about it. Want to grab something to eat? Alright, but remember that we bought this time with coupons, so let's make better use of it next time. Oh, just a regular meal set. Guess Paimon shouldn't get her hopes up. What would you like to do this afternoon? Seems you're really getting the hang of things at the Pancration Ring now. But just playing the same game over and over... Yeah, why don't we have Collins lower the difficulty a little? You know, so we can just breathe... A mysterious box? A bottle of crimson liquid? Paimon still doesn't know what to make of it. Do you have any ideas, Traveler? Really? Then it looks like that part of the investigation led us nowhere. Well, maybe we'll have better luck tomorrow. Okay, so we've investigated 2 of the hidden rules. We'd better pick up the pace with our investigation, otherwise we'll never get anywhere. Yeah, let's skip work for now and put our...
Quit following me.
Hey, isn't that Vidoc over there? Huh.
Seeing you at this time must mean you've already saved up a lot of credit coupons. Or at least enough to skip work. Impressive. Very impressive.
So, now can you tell us...
If that's what you want to know, I guess you couldn't have...
Huh? What?
Leonid and those other pesky broke urchins have all gone to work in the production zone. I wouldn't want them listening in without paying up.
We get it, just tell...
So, you know those pipes that make strange sounds? Don't ever, ever go near them at night. Even if you manage to avoid the guards, you might find something even more terrible there.
Something even more terrible.
A group of cannibals.
Cannibals? In the Fortress of Meripede?
Every month, they meet a few times in the dead of night. Rumor has it they might be connected to the people that have disappeared here. But what's even scarier is that they have a special proclivity. Since they have no way to dispose of the leftover remains, they have ways to transform them into other forms and keep them in the fortress forever.
Paimon might already know what you mean by other forms. So that's what's...
You two look pretty skeptical. I've got things to do too. I suggest you just act like I never told you anything.
Traveler, can we just trust him on this one? Oh, Paimon doesn't want her... Oh, so that's how you see the situation. Huh. When will all the secrets end? but the
What? What are you saying? You
Just stay away from me.
What are you talking about? Listen.
Their attitude sure is suspicious. Like they're trying to avoid us. But if they're being so obvious about acting weirdly, do you think they might just be trying to lure us in? Oh, this is all getting way too creepy for Paimon. So you mean we still need to invest?
Quit following me.
Hello, Fielding.
What do you want? Criminals like you ought to be working right now. Catch my drift.
We just want to ask you a simple question. Have you ever discovered anything odd during your nighttime patrols?
Why are you asking about something like that? Whatever happens at night isn't your concern. All you need to worry about is getting enough sleep.
Right! We've heard it happens a few times every month. Paimon has sensitive ears, so it makes it hard to sleep.
Really? I see. But it's not like I'm on duty every night. And now that you mention it, I recall my colleagues talking about something like that before. They say that strange things tend to happen at night on pipe cleaning days. Lots of us don't willingly take those shifts.
So, what happens at...
They just conduct regular cleaning of the fortress's drainage facilities. There are 3 pipe cleaning days per month, and it just so happens that today is one of the scheduled days. You can try to confirm the sounds tonight if you want, and if they're real, then I can report the issue to my superiors for you.
Oh, okay. Then we'll keep both ears out tonight.
If that's all, then I'll be leaving now. I advise you not to try anything funny, though. Even if I'm not on duty tonight, someone will still be watching you.
Don't worry, we don't want any time added to our sentences. Oh, he left. So what do you think about the pipe cleaning days he mentioned? Right, both are a possibility. But Fielding did say that tonight. Paimon knew you would say that. Alright, sounds like we'll be up all night tonight then. Paimon...
Squall and Fury.
Oh, I'm so tired. But we can't sleep yet. They'll be cleaning the pipes tonight, so it's the perfect chance for us to... Whatever. Just be sure to wake Paimon if she dozes off. Paimon's worried... Huh? Traveler? Did you fall asleep already? Traveler, come on, wake up! So we're finally starting to figure out what actually happened! Okay, well it's about time for us to get moving. Just be careful to avoid the patrolling guards.
It's still gonna be fun.
Too slow. Upon the gale.
This should be the place.
Too slow.
What? I know you. You were the ones we saw.
Huh. You've got guts showing up here. You know who we are, right?
You'd better leave now. Ain't nobody coming here to save you.
What'd you say? Yeah, so what if they were? If you push us, we can make those rumors a reality at any time.
Hey, what's the point of all those rumors anyway? What exactly are you trying to do?
I don't have to tell you anything. If you turn around, go back to the dormitories, and act like you never saw anything, then I'll
Yeah, scram. Nothing worth seeing here. Huh? What did you say?
Isn't that exactly what Boss said when he left?
Hey, do you know our boss? Whoa. We had no idea. So, did he have you come here to find?
Oh, so your child's crew here? Seems like he had no problem fitting in.
We're the only ones who heard him say those words when he left that night. So, unless he...
Wow, those dreams of yours sure come in.
We gave him the business for a while, and would always give him a hard time when he first came to the fortress of Maripede. But here in the fortress, the strong will always earn respect. He was working the longest hours and racking up wins in the Pancration Ring. You could always see how amazing he was, even when he was teaching us a lesson. So eventually, we all decided to follow him.
But one day, he suddenly told us that he had to find a way to escape this place, no matter the cost. He said it was because he heard that call again. And as his crew, if the boss wants something, then it's our job to... So, we got to work, and used the hidden rules that were here to make up and spread the rumor about the cannibal rule. We just wanted to give him a better chance of escaping on a night after the pipes had been cleaned.
Oh, thanks to your rumor, nobody would want to come anywhere near here, prisoner or guard. But has a child already escaped?
Because as far as we know, the pipe he went into isn't actually an exit. It should be a dead end. It leads to an abandoned factory area, and even if there were a way to escape from there into the sea, we're still way too deep. No one could ever reach the surface alive. But Boss still insisted on going in. So we told him that we'd pretend as if he never existed while he was gone, and that if he wanted to come back, he should wait for nighttime on a pipe cleaning day. That way, we could meet him here and help cover the whole thing up.
So you come and wait here through the night a few times a month just because of that promise?
Yeah, but it's been so long now.
Is it also possible that something unfortunate happened to him?
Nothing could ever defeat Boss or slow him down.
Okay. Paimon was just brainstorming possibilities.
All right. Keep quiet and follow us.
The way up from here has been sealed off. It's impossible to get through. Boss left by going down from here. It wasn't full of water at the time. Later, we came back hoping to have a look. That's when we found out it had been completely flooded. It's impossible to navigate unless you're an extremely skilled diver.
Do you think Child got trapped by...
Not likely. We all know that Boss...
Really? Then have him come investigate. Pronto.
It's getting late. We should leave.
Yeah, we learned a lot about what happened. We finally learned some key information. When you said you knew a diver, you were talking about Fremine, right? If we ask Linny, he'll definitely have Fremine help us. Ugh. Why is Child like this? What was he doing going into the pipes? Not me. Fortunately, though, it seems like it's only a matter of time now before we find out what really... Now that we can finally relax, I'm starting to feel super sleepy. It's morning already? Oh, Paimon still needs more sleep. Huh? Wait, look over there! Isn't that... It's one of Linny's cards! Let Paimon see what's... Maybe you haven't heard, but today is the monthly free day. It's been a while since we last talked. Ooh, today's our lucky day. We have the day off. From the sound of it,
The wind rises.
look! There are some people talking over there. Let's listen in.
If you ask me, those pompous parasites on the surface act like they're all a bunch of aristocrats. Do any of them give half a hoot about a bunch of dogs like us?
Hey, speak for yourself, mate. I'm no dog.
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest of us. I've heard that even if you're released after serving your sentence, going back to life on the surface ain't any better. Once a criminal, always a criminal. We're marked for life.
I don't buy that.
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood and everyone had to start over from nothing?
What kind of filthy bilgewater are you spewing? I have family up there. You best shut your sewer hole with talk like that. Listen, things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? Who wants to live in the ruddy overworld anyway?
And what makes you think they want to hire someone like you? It's one of the great mysteries of the universe, how some...
Whoa. Sounds like they're really unhappy. Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were living up there. That's true.
Squall and Fury.
Hey, you over there? Yeah, you. Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
You TCG players are like mint in the wild, literally sprouting up everywhere.
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding fellow Invocation if... all right.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place like this? Don't people usually come here to fight?
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, there are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders from other nations play cards. So I came over to say hi. Sure.
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit, right? Maybe you could start by telling us newcomers.
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right, then. Did you have any...
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it.
All right. Have you heard any strange rumors since you've been? Did you know that there are some people who are always gossiping over in the corner? There are two guys who are always skulking around in the corners of corridors gossiping. The bigger guy is Quisto, and the skinny one is Lavaroon. I never really found their gossip very mind-blowing. It's pretty much just the same stuff that I hear about when I'm at work every day. If you're interested, you can go talk with them. They tend to...
Good to know.
Let me think. Sounds like... Oh, did you know that the Duke was also a convict in the Fortress of
Huh? Wait, are you serious?
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. Who knows how he ended up rising up to become the warden, though. To go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? I'm not gonna lie, I kinda respect that. A forbidden zone? Sounds like...
It's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've never heard of it. Do you have anything else you can
Anything else? Not that I can think of, but I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear next time. You'll have to play a game...
Quit following me. Behold! Quit following me. Squall and fury.
There's a group of people over there.
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey, who are you two?
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were talking...
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in on our fun, that's all.
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that. Yeah, fine.
You hear?
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right? But before that, it just so happens that I know you two.
Really? Are we that famous?
You're kidding. How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself? Practically everyone was talking about it. Word has it that you also caused quite the kerfuffle.
A little mistake, huh? I like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude...
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually call us the Bombshell Bros, but don't worry. We're not playing with bombs or anything. It's just that our information...
So, you two really like to gossip? Whew, you sure...
No. You don't get it. Knowing intelligence will make things better for you here. Whoa, all this info's worth something, you know?
I don't mind him. Quisto's always this way. Just play nice and say something to massages the welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
Right. That meal we had yesterday was super delicious. Paimon can still taste it whenever she...
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those welfare meals. I've been working as a kitchen assistant for about a month and a half now.
Oh, so you're the one who made those delicious steaks. Amazing. You could be a professional chef.
You are correct. I am, since you like my cooking. I guess that means we share similar... Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. The overworlders couldn't care less about us down here. We're basically dogs to them. You've already met the one person here you should never cross, the Duke, Risley. He knows more than you think. And if he doesn't care about something, then he often doesn't bother dealing with it.
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds of special perks. Even better treatment in the infirmary.
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right? I don't think there's anything useful about him at all. Why does he visit the infirmary practically every day? Is it normal for anyone to be going in and out of there so often? If you ask me, he's just faking it to get out of work.
But did you know that Jurier was a talented researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute before he came here? There's no
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into Mora. Once you're in the Fortress of Meripede... Speaking of which, the last time I saw him, he was passing by the corridor with Lorvine.
You mean he hit a woman? Wow, I never imagined he was that bad.
But that Lorvine's also quite the odd one, you know?
Yes, we love
She's
this
always
walking
gabbing
through
away, got into a
conversations
fight with a
and picking up
man,
some
and she
tea.
also got sent to the infirmary.
From the teacup.
Come to think
the
of it,
spelling.
I always see her going to the sick bay.
Wait a second. You don't think?
Do you think could it be that they're secretly meet?
After all, I do remember seeing Lorvine beat Juria to a pulp that one time.
Okay, we've talked to just about everyone, and it's about time for us to go meet Linny. According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production zone.
Behold! Squall and Fury! Behold! Squall and Fury! The wind rises. Too slow. Behold! Upon the gale. The wind rises. Huh? That look in your eyes. You've...
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we...
Oh, as expected. Huh. I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable. He is a harbinger, after all. Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our final report to Father. Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons. His agenda might be linked to his disappearance.
His escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving...
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that only Fremine would be up to the task.
Bingo!
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it later. It's the least I can do. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this...
Collecting information has always been our strong point.
Now, let me think. To find out more information, Fremine will have to retrace Master Child's original route. And if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's 6 days from now. And...
You can even estimate how long it'll take for him to get back?
We've been working together for a long time. Traveler, what say you to meeting here 9 days from now? Oh, and there's just one last... Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremene's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to make more progress on the investigation of the Forbidden Zone. Fremene's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping Fremene prepare for his diving mission.
What do you want us to do? Will it...
Well, I won't call it easy Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the room and environs. You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret we're hoping to uncover. You've already met the head nurse. Investigate the internal structure of the but also, there's no need to take risks. Don't forget, safety always comes first. My apologies, I just started...
But that's not a bad thing, right? All right, then we'll head out as soon as we finish our prep.
Let's go our separate ways for now, then.
Hey, stay here for now. Paimon will take a peek. There seem to be several people inside.
Right. I feel like
It's not impossible.
Oh. It's a bit hard to understand them from here. Someone! Please help!
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion. Let me take a look. Please, lie down over here. Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly. You can do it, Traveler! Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you. My checkup has confirmed that he's not in any mortal... Eh? Oh, that's good. I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Don't sense serious damage to your organs. And here? Huh? But based on my... what about here? Does this... Oh. I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad stomachache when it decides to act up. So that's what it is. And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently. I'll inform our head chef, Mr. Woolsey, of this problem as soon as possible. Congratulations! The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Why don't you take a rest here while... Miss Levine, I'll have to trouble you to help me look after...
Very well.
And she hopped away, just like that.
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
His stomach ache's really bad.
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's...
But it also looks like she's the only medic you've got down here.
Well, that's true.
What do you mean, that's true? That's really misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't speak for the whole fortress, but it's not like everyone in prison, though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about medicine, and they help Miss Sijuin take care of the sick and injured.
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too?
That's correct.
Are you two also?
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups, and to pick up the medicines Miss Siegewien prescribes for us. That's just the nature of chronic illnesses. You could say she fancies herself as Miss Siegewien's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge ages ago.
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Hey, don't start arguing now! Please, keep it civil at least. Hey! Hey! There's no need to fight! Everyone will be released someday, so there's no need to argue over silly...
Release. It's way too early for us to even think about that. And who the heck knows if we'd even be able to continue our previous lives?
Please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation. Oh, and Mr. Jurier?
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively noisy place. See you later, everyone.
He just slowly walked off like that?
That's just what he's like. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's... Well, his name is Jurier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember his name.
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? Who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topics as he is? I'll accompany you two for a while. Miss Siegewien should be back soon, and I'm sure you'll feel better. No, it's nothing.
I'm back! Did you rest like you promised?
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Siegewien.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 days' worth of medicine for you. Take 1 pill now, and then continue your bed rest. Miss Lorvine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should be taking today?
I remember. You said it should be yellow.
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours. Please, make sure to go to bed early after taking them tonight. You'll benefit from a good night's sleep.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon, too.
See ya! I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right? I just want to double-check a few details. If those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the Traveler... So his primary symptoms are abdominal pain with secondary symptoms of nausea. Is there anything else? Alright then. Is there anything we should know besides to take the med? No, his base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure he'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please, make sure to stick to bland or less stimulating foods, and don't stay up too late at night. Got it! Paimon will hold the Traveler to that for sure. Oh, you're going to take a nap already? We've been to lots of places together. He may look a bit under the weather now, but he's actually super strong. So you're the best of companions. Well, don't worry. He'll recover soon. You're awake. How do you feel? You slept for a really long time, but we never left. Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember to take your meds regularly, and remember bland foods. Thank you, Miss Sijuin!
Quit following me. Huh. Hup.
I got bored, so I'm gonna try something.
You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is.
Okay, then go
If
back level 8.
Can't handle it. Maybe that's their problem.
You really are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon half to death! No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, go take my grilled fish and put down the Adeptus Temptation now! Paimon talked with Sijuin the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse and... Whoa! You really are super thorough! All those tiny little suspicious things that Paimon didn't even pick up on! We... Today's the day! Let's go meet up with Vinny!
Search for it.
Oh!
Hmm? Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts
That's good. That means you didn't. We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago, and as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary after.
Why is she getting involved as well?
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as something you did in exchange for Fremine's help, you've already done more than enough. Infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over and reduce the amount of suspicion that will fall on any given person. Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns. If everything went well, then she should be wrapping up her investigation.
Is now really a good time to go over?
According to my observations, Sijuin always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynette also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only—
Okay, then let's head over.
Quit following me. Huh. Hup.
Lynette should be here right now. Huh. Strange.
As expected, Siegewein isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make changes on the fly, she'd find a way to let me know. Unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here.
Okay.
Ah, this is it!
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been... The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably a mechanism, or could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if... Let's look around here for some more clues. None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in, except...
That's the one Lynette must have used, right?
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking, the head nurse would then ask, which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed, or...
There are some books here. These sure are some interesting books. She even has Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper over...
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, "Out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the
This is...
Is that all? The back.
Show me! Now!
That look on your face. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be? No. Could she have...
Wriothesley. Did he deliberately leave?
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very...
Yes. That is a crucial question. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Neuvillette, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. I'd like to know that too. Don't panic, just think everything... Wait, you're right. The fact that Fremine was able to leave the ground...
But what does he gain by letting Fremine leave?
So he's challenged... We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on our side. If Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's...
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to... Don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we...
No. I'm the leader of the...
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please, talk...
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go.
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so?
Huh? Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably... Someone! Please help! He's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected. What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but Oh my! What's wrong, little one? Being able to read human expressions... Lenny! Wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him.
Too slow. Behold!
He's already out of sight! How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Wriothesley's office!
Come out and face me!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your...
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of you knew we were... As for Fremine, no.
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meripede...
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need hostages?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you really want?
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cut. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody. So...
Wait, you can't... You locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Fremine's a star
No, we're still here, so we definitely try to find...
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great... Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of what...
So, you've been keeping tabs...
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or... I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is... You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no-man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much...
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to
Lenny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective? I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter...
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything.
6.
Wait,
2. Time's up.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can...
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws. Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found, I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of... Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production...
The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of... I've been told that the infirmary is always... We often see Miss C... Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an... The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the We often see Miss C... The Fonta promoter has been... I've been told that the infirmary... The Fonta promoter has... Fonta's internal report... The Fonta promoter has been struggling... The research notes said that the Melis... We often see Miss... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty. We often see Miss Siegewien. Fonta's internal report suggests... The research notes said that the Melusine race...
I hate doing this thing right here.
I've been told that the infirmary is all...
Ah, so that's what's going on. The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row, and if they do, they'll get strange meat in their welfare meal. At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared, but in reality, they were all prepared by Siegewien, the head. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn them. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Siegewien visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can use the stamina boost. Siegewien has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out about what she does. Unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Siegewien's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. All right, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration ring.
Fonta's internal report suggests... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't... According to Collins, the Pancration... I've been told that the infirmary is all... We often see Miss Siegewien observe... The Fonta promoter has been struck... The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world... Fonta's internal report suggests that there's... The Fonta promoter has been... The research notes said that the... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty. The Fonta promoter has... The research notes said that the Melusine... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament...
Paimon gets this rule too now, so there really was nothing to be afraid. That hidden rule of the Pancration ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the same time. And if they do, people get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fonta trial a blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fonta's own staff were questioning the company's decision-making. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale to see how it might be received by customers. They came to the fortress of Meropide and offered the Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand, and so only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match.
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing. Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine never— You'll pay for this— Ah!
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close one.
There was nothing, Your Grace. See, though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually—
Siegewien.
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and that when Monsieur Neuvillette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a But I really am just doing what Monsieur Neuvillette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits right now. His Grace knows it too, right?
My dear Siegewien, whatever shall I do with you?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some What are you talking about?
Take me if you want.
How touching. Can you—
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Siegewien, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You—
I believe I hear—
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarande. My door.
Fremine. Fremine!
What's going on? What is Clarande doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr.
She
Linny.
said it so casually.
The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like—
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough checkup. Your Grace!
I'll talk to Clarande while you get Fremine to where he—
What's that look on your face? I thought
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Siegewien may have been forced to shoot Mr. Linny again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time... Well, you can see how that boy's doing.
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
That's a bad sign. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would...
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Sorry.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after—
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator.
Where is she?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe. Linny, are you okay?
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't...
Are you sure? You don't look all right.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak.
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Huh? Remine?
He'll be fine, but...
His breathing's beginning to slow.
Give me a hand and help me get him to...
Yeah, I'll take him.
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. The Duke and Clarande are gone. They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarande will need a break, since she only just returned from rescuing Fremine out of the sea.
Quit following me. The wind rises.
He's awake.
We're all here. The infirmary, at the Fortress of Mir. How do you feel? Don't...
Travel. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned. Where could Master Child be? Huh. This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it? getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
Frost is coming!
This is where the water starts. Master Child probably died. The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going... No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it. I can't die here.
I just say his helmet is not even on.
This... I have to push on.
So, in other words, the trail you were...
That's right. I tried my best to swim back.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she
Miss Clarande, you say?
You're still too weak for Monet. Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days.
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who...
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be...
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on.
No, please go on without me.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still...
Understood. In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now.
Thank you.
I love Primo Gems. Love Primo Gems. Okay then. That's 3 points. Yeah, right now I'm saving for Clarende. and possibly Ayato. I think that's his name. No, Aika brother. And perhaps Raiden Shogun. And the Archon. I think it's Farina, something like that.
Excuse me?
I take it Mr. Fremenet's condition?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran.
Mostly fine.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform—
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my...
Well, want to explain?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of... where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have?
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's...
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you...
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at it. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about.
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremenet has told you already. The Forbidden Zone has always been Lenny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former...
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask...
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for... As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremenet was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that's not something you should be asking after. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremenet.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about...
You make a compelling case.
Yeah, Paimon really wants...
Even if the truth may not be pleasant, follow me.
Too slow.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is. Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, what a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little
Well,
Well, I'd advise you wait until you...
So there's a switch on the side!
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one!
Go on, have a look. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed. If only normally I would have ignored it. But I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, the temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us! Not even Neuvillette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all. Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, Few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this, to be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witness— Let's go somewhere else. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last—
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh?
No need to panic, you two.
What? After you warned us—
I'm skeptical as well.
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may—
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine—
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high. Everyone knew he was a bit crooked in the head, but you're not locals.
Edwin's main areas of research were—
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
Ah, what a lovely idea.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge ship! This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. I'll leave you here for now.
Oh!
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those three as well.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for...
Great. I look...
To be honest, I don't really want to tell them. And what is yeah, I don't want to tell them about it.
We're back!
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear two people talking next to me.
Must have been Risley and Sijwin.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and...
I really can't make sense of the...
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to...
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijwin is also with...
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because...
Ooh, he's good.
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, what's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Neuvillette. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but...
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her...
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side, which...
Yeah, that makes sense to me. The two of you have already aided us far too much. If you ever need anything else going forward, though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Lenny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Paimon's hungry.
Oh,
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
Okay, now that they said that, I'm looking at it now, and it look like it's like a seal. Like all of this. I mean, in here, you can't get in here because it's blocked off. Okay, then.
Too slow.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. Are you here for dinner too? And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well. Huh. You're right. She's actually... What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like. Me too! Don't forget Paimon! No problem. Just... So delicious. Paimon's so happy. Feeling full yet? How's delicious? I'm so glad to see you all so... Sigewinne, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings? A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melusine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care. You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister. Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear. Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his... Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting... Thankfully, Cloran is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Cloran left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Cloran had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any... You were all super considerate and... It's just what we... Oh... I really wish Monsieur Neuvillette would come down here more often, too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos. Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
Similarities, silly, but like a lot of similarities. It's almost crazy how much I see.
Behold!
So much is... Paimon's super... Delicious.
Out of my way! Get what happened? Why is everyone... No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Who's... Yep.
Quit following me.
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey! What are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't even...
They're here! Yeah, there you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone. Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? And evacuate.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as pop.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey!
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without him!
Hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Wait, so why are we running towards the office? Wait, oh, we're not from Fontaine. Luke's on y'all.
Too slow.
We can survive the final C, not them.
They're here.
Just like I said.
We have it!
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
So why would they just ask other nations for help? I mean, they could just ask like Jean Lee or something like that.
Neuvillette? Why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head. Farina will soon be meeting with the Knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure will do.
The wind rises. Too slow. Quit following me.
Look, there are a ton of... Are you two the Traveler in Paimon? Though I'm sure he's already explained.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend?
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments.
I've already prepared seats for you.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, We actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we... See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every...
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right?
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udek's Neuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be... Coming from you, that...
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child...
Well, in any case, there's no...
Oh, and...
Because we found evidence that proved he left the fortress...
And where did he go after leaving the
What?
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was... Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhna.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded. Hold on. Though...
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come.
Huh?
Have we entered into the next stage of...
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
Okay, I see him. But he did leave by good. He did him real good too.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser...
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbor.
I must say, Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally...
What are you trying to...
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Heart have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you... It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjecture.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same... Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high!
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal...
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying more. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eye.
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice?
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. What? You too?
Thank you. Oh, if it's on my...
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day?
Very well. We'll end it.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss.
Paimon's coming.
Water jet!
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, child was just an excuse. I have no interest.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express, do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deep. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to...
You mean Ridesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle you are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any...
No need. I will take care of... I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of...
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all.
Who are you? And what?
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please.
News from the Fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that rot.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Udex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my the initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the Fortress of Meripede will be...
Why is this quest so long? It's gonna burn out my computer.
You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from...
You attacked the Hydro...
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how... Of course, that is all just how I feel. It is, however, quite amusing to me. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe... Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll...
Neuvillette?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the Knave has turned permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though. You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase, "you guys," you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I believe so. The fortress has and now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of it.
Huh?
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Farina?
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we?
You guessed correctly. I sincere...
Right, of course. There's still...
Please.
Well, if you are the Dragon Sovereign of Water, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tevat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental Archons and 7 matching Dragon Sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much, unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding...
Oh, so we've...
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office.
Ah, please go right ahead. There's a place that... We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Quit following me.
Seedwing! Traveler! Pipe! Are you still doing alright? We're fine, but what about... A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Oh, of course. How did Neuvillette know that he... Well, Miss sure Neuvillette has strong resonance with the hydro element. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just... If you're not too pressed for time, please just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meals. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable.
Quit following me. Squall and fury.
You guys are back?
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
Huh?
Ah, and here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me...
All right, there's no need to get caught up in the details.
Hey, it wasn't just me.
Something like... I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quist whenever he'd say that.
Hey, there's nothing wrong.
These two. They sure are.
Oh, well, if you say so.
Behold! Quit following me. Squall and fury. Too slow. Behold!
Now guess, what's...
Well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Looks like you're recovering nice.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to... Oh, right.
Whoa, how did...
She told me that it was nothing.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went...
You meant father?
She said a few things that were...
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to...
Mm-hmm. Father is very capable.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on...
That does sound like something that father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the...
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea...
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of...
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
Too slow. fallen fury. Quit following me. Too slow.
Jurier,
Yeah, I was working on.
that's no excuse for... Huh?
Junior, Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you...
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the...
Yep. That is still top...
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then what?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your
Not at all!
Quit following me.
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange winds.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still alright?
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to...
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the Courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sigewinne's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super busy.
Gift from Miss Sigewinne.
Were the gifts...
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Clorinde received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even...
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some...
Are these from Sigewinne?
Nope. They're from your... You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for free.
Hooray!
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
Too slow. Quit following. Behold!
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners, though, so it really doesn't feel the same. Sure feels that way. But the truth is, we never did anything bad to begin with. Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! It's like we've now gone to so many places together. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but we've still been solving problems no matter where we go. You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer here? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Paimon will also be an adventurer from today. Just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. Oh, the last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a home. We should be safe now, right? All right then. Good night to you, traveler.
Yep, I saw that on Instagram. Yeah, fun time trying to beat that boss. And so we're finished again. Yeah, I doubt the story quest should not be nowhere. Yeah, it's not gonna finish. Oh, what Neuvillette now? I don't. I'm not a free-to-play player either. What I really want.
Too slow.
My credit card suffered enough. Okay, so I'm gonna end it here then. Thanks for watching. Me and this giant fortress main. Having other people problems. It's a little about like what Genshin Impact's about.
Quit following me.
You solve other people problems. I hope to see you next time. So thanks for watching and goodbye.